Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels. Taking a look at our Emeria Reanimator deck, or I'm already dead. So, since the previous episode, I have made a couple of changes to the deck list. So, we've added in a couple of brilliant spectrums to help with the self-mill a little bit. And we've also added in a Green Warden, because I figured Green Warden can actually grab its own Reanimator spells back. It can also grab literally anything, so it's a better version of Possessed Scab in a nutshell. And it adds to the creature count just a little bit, in a more impactful way anyway. What we've taken out is one telling time, because it doesn't self-mill, which makes it not as good. So I've cut down to one. I used to have these in for mana fixing, so we'll have to see if we have a few mana problems along the way. But I also cut down the Vessel. It was a self-mill source. But it wasn't too important to the deck list, so I thought I might as well cut it out. And then I've cut down one Prized Amalgam as well, because they're good, but when you're getting down like Ulamogs and Emeria Shepherds and Gaia's Revenges, I don't think they're that impactful to the board state. But they are an early game blocker, so we'll have to see if that is also an issue. But without further ado, let's get into the game, shall we? See you there. Okay, and we're in, and we're on the play. We don't have blue mana, so we can't Telling Time or Oath of Jace, so we're going to have to throw this back. We can hit an Oath of Jace, and that'll allow us to discard Gaia's Revenge and Ulamog, so as long as we hit our land drop, we should be right on time. So we'll lead off with Prayer Stream, since it will come in untapped all the way along the curve. So our opponent is rank 23, called Hikikomori. And it looks like he's playing some sort of colourless Eldrazi build, or maybe Thopters. We shall see. Let's just go with the Rogue's Passage, I guess, and then pass the turn back. So next turn we're going to be able to get the Oath of Jace down, get our two biggest creatures into the graveyard, so hopefully we just keep hitting our land drops. More specifically, a black mana as well would be very useful. So it's going to be an Eldrazi deck then. Running red. Interesting. Right, come on, land. That is a land. It's a tapped land, which makes it not useful this turn, but in future turns, I can get behind it. Alright, what do we draw? A Sorin, another graveyard fetch, and a swamp, which is good. So it looks like... Ooh, do we get the Olivia in? No, let's not bother. If we get the Ever After, then she'd have been good, but I don't want to reanimate her with a Necromantic Summons and then a turn later get Ulamog in hasty. It's not what she's in here for. Opponent's got a Rogue's Passage, so I imagine we're going to see some big creatures here, and there's nothing we can do about them. That's a 2/3, has haste as long as you control another colourless creature. Okay, so we're getting hit for 4. Oh dear. Well, hopefully our Eldrazi will beat his Eldrazi. Considered putting Kalitas in the deck actually, since with our big creatures on turn 6 we force a lot of chump blocks, and that could get us a lot of zombie tokens. I'm not sure about it though. I'm not really... I might even cut the Prized Amalgam to do that if I was going to do it at all. Let's go with a Swamp into Prized Amalgam. That may be a mistake because we won't be able to hit Necromantic Summons, but we're going to be able to block his creatures, and I think this is an aggressive strategy. So I want to be able to block something. And I can still get Prized Amalgam into my graveyard as well. So when I come to reanimate Ulamog, I'll get him back. Thought Not Seer is going to probably take Sorin, I'd say. Or even just one of the reanimate spells. But he can't get both. What's he going with? Tough decision for our opponent, because we have a very good hand. He goes with a Necromantic Summons. Good choice, sir. Good choice. And he's just swinging for 4. We'll take that. Come on, untapped land. If we hit an untapped land, we are absolutely golden. Not quite. We'll hit an Evolving Wilds though, so... We are going to chump with the prized amalgam on his turn, because we're going to get it back anyway. I say chump, we could trade maybe. But I imagine I'm going to see a bigger creature than a 3/3 coming up now when he's on 5 mana. What have you got, opponent? Tough decisions is what you've got. If he hits another Thought-Knot Seer, I'll be really sad. Because then we lose our entire plan. And have no way of recovering from that, really. Unless we just get lucky on the draw. So... I'm going to remember the Rogue's Passage this time, by the way, guys. I realised I got a little bit carried away with wanting to overkill our opponent. So we're going to take 6 this turn. Or maybe even 8 if I want to trade off. Do I want to trade off? Or do I just want to block an extra 2 damage? I think I'll trade. I think that probably works out better. We're getting Prized Amalgam back anyway. Yeah, stick Ruins on that, that's fine. And... No. Oh, you. Oh, that game scared me then. Let's go get a Swamp. If we hit an Ever After... Actually, we won't be able to cast an Ever After. Now we would be able to cast an Ever After. So we'll go... Swamp. Do we want a Sorin? No, we don't, do we? Huh. No, let's rise from the grave. No. We potentially die to a rise from the grave. That's the thing. Because if we rise from the grave Ulamog, he still gets around us with 1 creature. And if he plays one that's bigger than 4, then Eldrazi Mimic becomes lethal. So we are going to have to Sorin here, I think. He knew about the rise from the grave anyway, so we haven't given away any information. Is this plus... Its power is equal to the number of colourless creatures. Well, do we just... I think we're -4 the Thought-Knot Seer, which is going to let us draw a card. Is he going to kill Sorin anyway? Because we could just -5 Sorin and kill the Thought-Knot. It's 1 extra health for us. Gets us out of a nice little bit of range. Draws us a card. Prairie Stream, not bad. Not great, but not bad. So we'll pass the turn over. So our opponent can start using Rogue's Passage now to just get past our Amalgam. If he wants to just go with the creatures he's got now. He's only got 3 cards in hand, so I'd like to imagine he doesn't have many creatures left. And in fact, if he goes into swing, then we know he doesn't have any. Because there'd be no reason not to play them pre-combat with the Eldrazi Mimic on the battlefield. Let's just hope he doesn't ingest a nice little creature like an Emeria Shepherd. And yet again, we still get to... There we go, Blight Herder. Is it 2 cards? Yeah, 2 cards. So he doesn't get the Scion tokens. But he does now get a 4/5. We're going to trade off anyway. Both are coming at us. Yep, okay. So we'll block the Mimic. Can't stop the aggregate from dealing as much damage. So we're in a lot of trouble now. What do we lose? An Oath of Jace, which means we're not going to be able to legend rule our Oath of Jace, but I doubt we're going to be able to have that chance anyway. Oh, we've got Sorin, haven't we? Bottom that. Brilliant Spectrum. Let's... If I -1 Sorin to kill the Mimic, then I can Ulamog out, get the prized amalgam back to block, potentially, hopefully, only take 4 next turn. And we go up 1 life as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to have to happen. We can still get Sorin back with a Emeria Shepherd if it does turn up eventually, but I think our hands are tied a little bit in regards to what we have to do. So we're going to go and get ourselves the Ulamog. If he's got burn, we're just dead. And then we get the prized amalgam back. We'll just play a Prairie Stream. If we hit a planar outburst, then I want to be able to cast it. Okay, so can our opponent do 3 extra damage on top of what he's got? Quite likely. Next turn, if we do survive, we can Brilliant Spectrum and dump these 2. And hopefully the Spectrum actually gets us some more Reanimate so we can get them back again. And we can have prized amalgam to block for days then. The problem is that we can't really let our guard down. So he's swinging in. Gonna block the Blight Herder. Well, it doesn't matter which one we block. If he's got Creature Pump, we're dead anyway. What do we lose? An Evolving Wilds and Touch of the Void. That is the game. Ah! Well, guys, I'll see you in the next game. And we're in. This hand can potentially do stuff, but that's only on a telling time, so I think I'm going to throw it back. This hand is a lot better because we can Brilliant Spectrum and dump Gaia's Revenge, and we have Graveyard Fetch for the 5th turn there. Our opponent's playing blue. Okay, we'll find out who he is in a moment. Right, let's lead off with a Swamp. Let's not terrify him with islands just yet. Our opponent is rank 19, and he is Ton Mu. Sulphur Falls. Brain in the Jar. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Let's go with an island. So we can have Prairie Stream untapped, and that will be our 3rd mana colour. And then Brilliant Spectrum turn after. Hopefully get another black source so that we can languish away anything that he pulls out. Right. Well, that's not, but that's actually a lot better because we don't have a turn 3 play, so we might as well Evolving Wilds into another Swamp. So he's going to put a counter on his Brain. Yeah. Doubt he has a 1-drop. I think there's only like Dispel or Crush of Currents, I think it's called. Which are utterly useless. Drownyard Explorers. When it dies, you get to investigate. Well, we're going to sack the Evolving Wilds and we're going to go get another Swamp. It is when it dies. Oh, it's when it enters a battlefield. Alright. Okay. I can deal with that. Alright, okay. So we're going to go Prairie Stream, Brilliant Spectrum for 3. And then we are going to discard Omnath and Gaia's Revenge. We have 2 different board wipes that we can play. We have an Oath of Jace to continue milling ourselves, and next turn we're going to be able to get an Omnath back. I think that's the choice that we're going to go with. Although Gaia's Revenge. I suppose Gaia's Revenge is better to put the pressure on since it can't be targeted by anything our opponent has. So yeah, I think we'll go with the Gaia's Revenge. And it gets in the turn it comes out as well. Not forget that. The Omnath does have potential to Disciple of the Ring. Huh. Can tap creatures. Well, if he can tap our creatures out. Well, do we want to languish away that before he starts controlling our board? I think we're gonna blow up his board for that reason. I don't like Disciple of the Ring against us. I haven't come across against a proper control deck yet, and I don't like the idea of it. Since we spend a lot of mana playing one card, I don't like the idea of it being countered. So hopefully our opponent taps out right now. Thanks to the Green Warden edition as well, we can always get Languish back as well. Okay, so only I was gonna say, oh no, the only counter it can hold up is Dispel, for instance. So Rise from the Grave is coming back. Olivia, we can get into the graveyard later. I'm going to Omnath because I can get another 5/5 on top of him. So now we have 10 power on the board. And if he tries to remove them with Burn, I can kill his Whirl-a-Rogue. Or even just point it at his face. And then we can Oath of Jace next turn and dump Olivia. Hopefully get more Reanimate and get the Gaia's Revenge out, which is also an elemental. So if that dies, Omnath also triggers. I'm just thinking about Lava Axes being a thing. It's not Lava Axe, is it? It's Lightning Axe. I don't know. The one that you can discard and deal 5 damage to a creature. Geist Blast. So he's gonna 2 for 1 our Omnath. Okay. Well, we're gonna take away his Whirl-a-Rogue. Fine by me. He's not swinging in. Okay. Don't want to take 5 damage, eh? So we'll lead off with... get the Drownyard Temple, and then we'll tap our mana so that we don't spend our black. And he's going to put a counter on. Does he have a 2-drop? A Disperse, maybe? No, he has nothing. He is empty-handed now as well. Oh, Emeria Shepherd and an Olivia. Don't mind if I do. Swinging for 5. He chump blocks, most likely. That's why he'd held back. Why would he hold back if he's not planning on blocking? Interesting. He must have plans for his Thopters then, I guess. Maybe Ether Grid. Or he could just have removal for this elemental token and not want to use it. I'm hoping we hit a Plains this turn, because if we hit a Plains, we can Necromantic Summons back the Emeria Shepherd, Plains, get Omnath back. That would be the best play. Otherwise, I'm thinking maybe just Necromantic Summons Omnath, play the island and get another 5/5. So he's going to Frost Links down our elemental token. Okay. And then a Crone Sergeant. This is a weird deck. I'm not sure why he's playing Brains when he's playing so little instants and sorceries that matter. But, who do I know? Right, so let's Necromantic Summons Omnath. Sunken Hollow. Get another 5/5. We have a pretty substantial board now, and it takes a lot more burn than what he's got to get rid of Omnath when he's got 2 counters on him. So I think we can take this game away. He's going to sack his Clue token, looking for answers that he likely won't find. Or I hope he won't find. Pyromancer's Assault won't do it. See, if you're playing Pyromancer's Assault, wouldn't you want more less creatures than you do. Continue playing. It looks like he has run out of steam. Yeah, I think maybe our opponent doesn't actually have all the cards and he's sort of dealing with what he's got. It's the impression I've got. Oh, Necromantic Summons, Emeria Shepherd. Plains, Gaia's Revenge. Yes, please. Get ourselves another token. Swing in. What say you, opponent? Do you want to lose every last one of your creatures? Yes, you do. -1, of course. Alright, well, this game's pretty much in the bag. Telling time, it's definitely in the bag now. So we can Sorin, get rid of his last creature. Oh, he's gone telling time twice, is he? Okay. Another telling time. Ping us for 2. Not quite gonna do it though. Come on, reanimate. Reanimate. Oh, not quite. Well, how many elementals we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this does 3. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. We could literally play our outburst and win that way. So even if he wipes our board with 1. Which is pretty awesome if you ask me. Let's get Olivia. Oh, actually, no. Let's not get Olivia. Not that it matters, of course, but... she's no good to us in our hand. And then we'll -5 Sorin. I think I have -5 Sorin every single time. I think it's just because I can get him back so easily. And then we'll swing in for overkill. Victory! -26. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today. So if you've liked the content, then be sure to leave a like. If you've loved the content, then be sure to subscribe. And if you're not quite sure, stay for the end card to see the rest of the content you've got to offer. As always, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.